Hello, welcome to Discovering the World of Natural Health. I am your host, Claiborne Holtzman. We at Remedy This Naturally are there to help you have a better quality of life by using God's pharmacy to make things happen in a positive way. We have the capabilities within ourselves to work toward the healing of ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and in any other means or modality that you think it's important. So I challenge you to take the time to give yourself the gift of learning. One, about aromatherapy. We're going to talk today, this is part 2, and I'm doing this one here live on Monday, the 30th of November, 2020. So you'll have some perception as to what's going on and how it's being brought to you. I am going to give you my secret about what I'm doing and how I am reaching the information that I am sharing with you on this broadcast. This information is critical because it can change your life and your health in a very positive way. And so therefore, please make yourself aware of this book that you can purchase at Remedy This Naturally. This is Aromatherapy for everyone. So anyone that's watching this show and has questions about aroma, and what do you mean by therapy? What does it do for us? How does it help us? But you are special enough that this book was written for everyone. And I've got my little dog leg pieces of paper there to help us understand where I need to go to instead of me flipping through and using your time. For your information, there is a glossary or table of contents, and in this introduction, the power of aromatherapy, getting started, become an aromatherapist pro. Your guide to the many uses of essential oils. And then they break them down, starting with allspice and anise, and going through lang lang. So there is a lot of information in this book that can accommodate your interest of being inquiring and having the opportunity to make aromatherapy part of your life and your health. So, with that in mind, let's talk about aromatherapy for everyone and anybody, or it says on the book, anyone, and how it can benefit us in the, I'm going to say now, since we passed Thanksgiving, it's not just holiday season. This is Christmas season. Think about the many, many aromas that come your way that are available to us during the Christmas holiday. And think about it. What can you come up with? The first one I come up with is usually pine. The aromatherapy of pine trees, of pine and how it works within us, and how pine needles were actually used when it was hard to get tea, black tea. So, and it was also helped to build the immune system by using the pine needles in a cup of warm water and drink it. So we're going to get into some of these things today. This is phenomenal because it is helping us learn about God's pharmacy. Wow. How can you be in any better place than for you to be getting your information from the person that created you? Woo, good stuff. I love it. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about when did aromatherapy arrive on the scenes. Let's talk a little bit about the history, okay? And with that in mind, the way aromatherapy is all the talk these days, you think it has been a brand new concept in health and wellness. It really not. It's also an old as civilization itself. From the very beginning, folks, going back into the Garden of Eden, they were available for Adam and Eve to be able to use and to nurture and nourish their bodies and their lifestyle, keeping them mentally alert because they had what they needed to make things happen in a positive, healthy way is what I mean. Okay, while there is reason to believe that the use of aromatics has been in place since the dawn of mankind, physical evidence dates back to the ancient Egyptians. They found out on clay tablets that the importance of cedar wood and cypress in Egypt. And so by looking at some of these things that were happening back then, it confirmed to us folks that essential oil played an international trade. So someone would go and they would go into friendly islands and they would find out what the people were doing there, and they'd bring some of that stuff back home to whoever sponsored that ship to go looking and finding what they could for new colonization. Egyptian high priest also recorded the many uses of essential oils on papyrus. In other words, they wrote it down on what they had to write it down at the time. One intriguing fact is that Imhotep, King Zor's chief architect, renowned physician and astronomer, is also known as the grandfather of aromatherapy. The great physician is credited with the significant advances in medical knowledge. He regularly incorporated the use of aromatics into his practice. So he found that the aroma had something to do with the health and wellness of the people that he was responsible for. And we find out that in other cultures have used aromatherapy as well. And, you know, one that we are aware of, and the Chinese used aromatic herbs and massage well before the birth of Christ. The Indian therapy, known as Ayurvedic, this medicine utilizes massage techniques, pressure points, and essential oils to bring about good health. That's what it was for. Hippocrates, here we go, talking about that fella, said, "Let food be your medicine, let your medicine be your food." And he's known as our father of medicine, Hippocrates. And also, he talked about using them in bath and also when they got a massage. Also promoted daily use of aromatic baths and massage. There are just a few historical examples. The list also includes ancient Rome and religious orders of the Middle Ages, and continued through the centuries unto, let's just say, our day, our time, modern significance of what it needs to be for you and me. So, I mean, it's one thing to talk about how all this was good for them back then, but what about you and me right now? What about us? And what do we have to be able to benefit from aromatherapy? So we're going to take, in this broadcast here, part 2, and this is on November the 30th, 2020, that we're talking about what in the world does an essential oil, and I got this one marked to put a rubber band around it. I'll just take it off here. But what can it do? How can it help? Candy canes. Talk to me about them for a moment. What is the aroma that comes from a candy cane? Okay. What is the flavoring? Yep, peppermint. And I'm going to go over here. LMNO. Aha, here we go. Talk to you about that for a moment. Aromatherapy. I have here peppermint oil. And you can do this. And I love putting it right here. I turn it down. And I got 1 drop. And I'll do this right there. And I will bet you, whomever comes in this room I'm in right now, in the studio, they will come into this room and they will have this fragrance come to them. And they'll say, "You smell so good." And now, why would I take and peppermint, and I don't care if it gets on the top here because it'll kill the negative bacteria. Peppermint is one of the most useful and beloved essential oils. Now, most useful and beloved. Why? One, it's called refreshing herb. It has aromatherapy is very cooling, it's refreshing, and not only that, it lifts your spirits. You know, it just kind of takes you to a different place, especially if you're in a negative situation. And what it will do, it will actually help restore the negative enzymes back to a positive, and it will help create within us our ability to move forward in a positive way. Just by having something and just 1 drop. Now, when I say 1 drop of this, I'm talking about an essential oil that is pure. I'm not talking about the ones that are artificially flavored or using for that. You can get by with it, but if you really want to get into trusting to you the opportunity to be involved, to be grounded in what the essential oil can do for you, then I would suggest taking and spending a few more dollars and getting a pure natural essential oil. You know, you can even do this with a cup of peppermint tea. You know, it changes just the molecular structure in the room we're in because of the power of something as simple as 1 drop of a pure peppermint oil. I love it. And then I can just take that, and then I can do this, and I can, anytime I need to. And I can actually use that to rub on the back of my neck because it will actually help take the stiffness out of it. So, aromatherapy is absolutely essential to the health and well-being of us who believe that God's creation and the aroma has everything to do with our positive health and healing. Think about it for a moment. I remember when it used to be that the cookie factory was in the mall, and I tell you what, it was very difficult to walk by that corner store when you had all of the bakings going on. Check out Nature's Remedy This and come in on a Monday morning when the aroma is there. Oh, wow. Or just, it's powerful, very powerful. Okay. Peppermint, used extensively in both Eastern and Western medicine. For everything, okay, it's used in Eastern religion, we're talking about those countries, Western, talking about us, and what do we use it for? One, everything from indigestion to diarrhea. You can have a loose bowel and peppermint oil will help to get things back in balance. You can actually use it for headaches. I mean, peppermint actually help to, I'm going to just say, neutralize headaches. The aroma has a tendency to make it better. You talk about something that is really a great thing to do with the peppermint oil, and somebody else doing it for you, it is just powerful. Take a drop of it, and I love using an essential oil, a carrier, along with the oil. Silver, I love the silver gel. I love the silver cream, and just put the two together and then take it and just massage the foundation of your body. The foundation of your body is the bottom of your feet, and just rub it, spread it around in between the toes, top and bottom of the foot, and just stop and reflect on what's happening to you internally, what's happening to you physically, what's happening to you with your sensory, with the aroma and what it's doing for you. I said everything from indigestion to diarrhea, headache to tired feet, bad breath to cramps. And the other thing, how many things in the culinary realm, in the food industry, I mean, you love the little mints. You go to a restaurant and you get a peppermint candy. Why? Because it's actually helping you to digest and benefit from what you are ingesting for yourself. So peppermint oil is phenomenal. I love it. Let's continue and talk about it some more. Talk about the food industry. It's also is a flavoring in gum, candy, ice cream, and pastries. You got peppermint's talents, however, really shine in aromatherapy. It's fresh, comforting, and the aroma, the aromatic, the scent of peppermint, it just actually soothes, comforting. I love that. And, I smell it. It actually removes, neutralizes, makes a change when it comes to the aromatherapy with the peppermint. And not only is it something that's here, I'm going to do this again because I love what it is, and it's actually just one drop. There it comes. That's it, one drop. And I don't know if you can really see it or not, but you can see it coming down my arm there. And this is actually a pressure point. And not only that, it's the entryway into my hands that go to my fingers, to the tips. Now, if you reverse that and you do it with your feet, and I tell you, you find a good massage therapist or a individual that can manipulate those muscles and those key acupressure points, and someone can help with that. Wow. You can be tighter than a tick on a hound dog's back, or wrapped up with all sorts of problems, and someone can take and just massage your hands, massage your feet, do the ears, and you can just go and experience, as what we say, a little bit of heaven. And by that I mean heaven is getting away from all the stuff that we have to encounter on a day-to-day basis. And I just love that. I love knowing that I can take and let my body overpower the negative that's already in, that's trying to get in, and that is waiting in line to be a part of our negative stuff. We don't have to have that. If you will take the time, and I'll go ahead and put a little commercial in here, okay? Talking about aromatherapy for everyone. Book, you can purchase that, Remedy This Naturally. The book is exceptional in what it has to do. You can take a teenager who is suffering from acne, or you can take an adult or someone that's a senior citizen and there's a mood or a mode of depression. How about when we actually do a little bit more activity, maybe during the quote unquote the Christmas season, you'll get some muscle aches and pains. What can you do for them? And I tell you, if there is a problem, quote unquote, with the respiratory, and you take this peppermint and do that, it will actually open up. It'll open up the sinuses. I can still feel it after I do that deep inhalation. I can just feel it still there. And you can feel it going around under the eyes and just giving us relief. That is powerful. Just one drop of the essential oil peppermint, and we got it. We got it whipped, folks. We got it. The other thing is, there is a lot of concern about insomnia. And I'm going to say probably one of the things that helps the most when it comes where you can't sleep, your mind doesn't turn off, and it's going woo, 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 woo. You know, like we talk about crazy. If we can give ourselves the gift of letting us use the oil, find out which one's best for you. Read up on them. Okay, I'm going to jump a little ahead of myself here. I'm coming back to peppermint. Peppermint is just, if we didn't talk about but any one thing today and we talked about peppermint, we got it covered, folks. But if you will take and go in this book, and first of all, take a few moments to look at the plants in color. It does help me to see what it looks like. And just on this page alone, it has frankincense, blue gum eucalyptus, cloves, citronella. Most of the time you're going to use citronella in the summertime to keep the bugs away. Cedarwood, chamomile, and cedarwood, camphor, anise, allspice, basil, and casa. Those things are really trying to get more important. And if we can actually break through the barrier of the stress, you'll actually won't have any problem with sleeping, because you'll just go right on to sleep. You'll take care of yourself. Okay. So the peppermint oil is talented and gives us a chance to experience the many talents of that herb. Its fresh, comforting scent soothes and relieves all sorts of ailments, both mental and physical. That's what it can do. And what are some therapeutic uses of peppermint oil? The aromatherapy. One, if you have something called apathy, you just don't care, it may be something that benefits you. Arthritis, I love getting my carrier oil, and we can do several things. I have my little spray bottle of silver, and I will take this and I'll do that to my hands, and silver, I use it in the gel, shave what little bit I shave, and rub it all over my head, my ears, my face, take my glasses off. I even use it in my eyes. That's what I use. Now, what we're talking about now, I'm not talking about the peppermint oil, I'm talking about the silver essential immune support. And in the gel, I love it. It spreads so easily. All right. So we talk about asthma, back pain, bad breath, inflammation of the bronchicles. If there's circulatory issue, I'll tell you what, that it just makes the blood go to the head faster, so to speak. Colds and coughs. Yeah, that helps too. Fainting, spells, help bring people back around. Fatigue can even help with gas. They use a fancy word called flatulence. Also, peppermint. It actually therapeutic uses against the flu and headaches. I like carrying my peppermint, and I love putting it right here on the temple and the back of my neck if we should have headache. Okay? Migraine, gum or mouth infections, muscle pain, nasal congestion, nausea, stomach cramps. And on stomach cramps, you could actually just take a little bit of the oil and a little bit of the peppermint oil and just rub it on the abdomen. Just get it there and just rub it and just let it go in transdermally into the body through the skin. Really appreciate it that way. Stomach cramps, sunburn, tired feet, travel sickness, and even vertigo. And we're still talking about peppermint. And if you want to understand, get the book, Aromatherapy for Everyone, and it will help. Essential oil applications. You know, we talked about a minute ago. Okay, I said something for apathy, fatigue, or mental exhaustion. What you want to do is just do 2 or 3 drops in a diffuser. And you have that diffuser, and it's kind of like steam coming out of it, but it's really not. What it is the aromatic coming out and putting it in the air. Clearing the air, making it so we can enjoy it. So, essential oil for apathy, fatigue, mental exhaustion. How would you do peppermint oil for arthritis, back pain, bowel disorders? In other words, like constipation. And there again, rub it on the abdomen. Headaches, mental exhaustion, muscle pains, stomach cramps, tired feet. And it's a carrier and massage into the body or affected areas. The other came up with asthma, bronchitis, coughs, or sinus congestion. Use 2 to 3 drops in a steam inhaler. May also be used in a diffuser. And you know, when you put those things in there and you get in there and kill that bacteria in there. Kill it. For bad breath or mouth or gum infection, use it as a mouthwash. Put some in there. You could actually even do a little spray bottle and do it, or you can get and just swish it around, spit it out, and let it work that way. And what I'm doing, I'm actually going into a little bit more about peppermint oil and just showing you the things we talked about, therapeutic uses, applications of the oil, and it can be done with other oils as well other than peppermint, but peppermint is so universal. Everybody's aware that benefits of peppermint. So we're just going from there to give you that information. And if you want to help with colds and flu, put it in a diffuser. Indigestion or flatulence, 2 to 3 drops in an ounce of carrier oil and massage into the back. May also be used in a compress. For fainting, if you had a fainting spell or vertigo, you're unstable, you could use 2 or 3 drops in a handkerchief and inhale periodically. May also be used in a diffuser. And basically, what I do, and I'm putting it here, I'm eliminating the handkerchief. You know, hopefully it'll get in my cloth. And people say, what is that aroma I smell? And it benefits them too, okay? Nausea, sunburn, you put it in a liquid of lanolin or a carrier oil, works there. So The other thing is when it comes to essential of your oils and when it comes to your herbs, anything you don't know about, and if you are in the quote-unquote motherly way, which means you're pregnant or nursing, then you want to make sure you do not use on babies or small children. May irritate sensitive skin. Do a patch test first before applying in large amounts. Do not use in baths. Should not be used in conjunction with a homeopathic remedy, as it will act as an antidote. Homeopathic is another way of learning and how energy from the plant source changes our constitution and our bodies. Let's talk about this for a little bit, okay? Let's talk about pine needle. I know a lot of you really like making sure you get a spruce pine or a tree that is real, or you go and you end up buying the pine needles, like you take the peppermint or you get the pine and you put it in, for the aroma of the pine. Why is it significant to have pine tree, garland, different ways of putting pine into the home during the Christmas season? What is it? Okay, let's start off right here and let's talk about Aroma for everyone. The fresh scent of pine awakens memories of crisp winter days and holidays past. So pine is going to wake up inside of us things that have been part of our life previously. And so pine, what it does, it has a unique characteristic of comforting, invigorating. It's been used for centuries. I mean, how many years have you been along on this earth, and how many years have you enjoyed the benefit of pine trees, pine in every aspect? It's comforting. It's invigorating. That's why we need to celebrate Christmas, because it brings back past memories and hopefully ones of joy, happiness, and the ability to be able to carry that on with ourselves and with the people we love. Ancient Greeks, Egyptians, people from Arab world used pine in religious ceremonies and to treat conditions. Now, these conditions that pine was used for was bronchitis, tuberculosis, and pneumonia. Native Americans made a special brew with the pine needles that was consumed to prevent scurvy. So that tells you it's a great way for us to get vitamin C. Also, to divert for a moment, think about what else helps us in the fall, winter months, and that's when we start talking about the citrus. We start talking about oranges, tangerines, kumquats, pineapple. I like that too, but I'm thinking more of grapefruit. All of those are significant. The peel, don't throw it away. Take it, if you've get fresh fruit and you peel it, leave it in a bowl. Let the air be cleansing itself from the benefits of the rind of the grapefruit. Make a tea out of it. The outside, where the color is on the orange or grapefruit, and then on the inside you have the fruit, and then right in between you have what is called the pulp, and it's there to benefit it. Okay? So pine needles, Native American Indians brewed pine needles, and they didn't have to worry about scurvy, and they also taught the pilgrims and the people who came over that for many, many days on the ships, and they would get scurvy. Pine needle mattresses are used even today in the Swiss Alps as a remedy for rheumatism. Pine oil is also a favorite in both bath oils and foams. And you need a carrier oil with that, okay? Thanks to its fresh, lively scent and its ability to alleviate symptoms of rheumatism. So they actually made beds out of pine needles. So important. And then here again, the therapeutic uses for asthma, bronchitis, cough, and this even refers to smoker's cough. Tells you how to do it. Tablespoon of shower gel, shampoo, Castile soap, and mix into your bath water. Athlete's foot, cuts, eczema, psoriasis, scabies, sores, or other skin irritation. Oh, here we are in the Christmas season. Everybody loves all the food. But guess what happens? They get a little concerned because of the cellulite, of putting the fat on, getting love handles, so to speak. There are things that you can put the pine needle with the Castile soap and mix into bath water. So you just get the little pine, just like we got the peppermint, get the pine and work with it. Colds, flu, sinus congestion, sore throat. Even has been historically known for cystitis and prostate issues. Digestive problems, drowsiness, and nervous exhaustion. And here we are in the Christmas spirits, right? Okay. Guess what? Pine needles have been known to benefit the hangover and help get back to normalization, stabilized. Okay. So these things are, and also again, avoid if prone to allergic reactions, avoid if diagnosed with high blood pressure, should not be used on the skin of children or elderly, and should be sure to avoid oil from dwarf pine. So get the one like Now brand, Nature Sunshine brand, at Remedy This Naturally, then it'll be there to benefit you. At Remedy This Naturally, come in and check out the cafe and see what's available for you to be able to indulge in a good Christmas spirit of doing so. You know, this has been the second broadcast of talking about the benefits of aromatherapy and how it is there for you and me to enjoy and get the most out of Christmas spirit. We have the knowledge and capability available to us if we want to take advantage of it. Discover the sense, SCENTS, of health and happiness with essential oils. I love knowing that I have options. I love knowing that we can take and make available for you pine oil, and you can use that. You know, we talked about myrrh, frankincense last time on the last broadcast. And, you know, we talked about somewhat about the citrus, about the oranges, kumquats, nectarines, grapefruit. Didn't say too much about lime because that's not one of the most used in our area, but that's also beneficial for us. And then lemons. Cannot say enough about lemons and how it just changes and how it, you know, it's good. I'll explain to you right quick. Lemon have been long valued for more than just lemonade. A good lemonade is hard to beat. We know that ancient Egyptians prized this oil for its purported ability to act as an antidote to poisoning from meat and fish. And so it's always good to have some lemon available if something gets in food, if you get food poisoning, so to speak. And like lime, it has a stable, owned 17th century Royal Navy ships to help prevent scurvy. Today we know lemon can help contain and treat infectious diseases, essentially colds and fevers. Its scent also neutralizes unpleasant odor. Some hospitals use lemon oil to calm frightened or depressed patients. It also boosts the immune system by stimulating production of white and red blood cells. Lemon oil is a must for every aromatherapy kit. Make sure you got some lemon. And there again, if you decide to make fresh lemonade and you squeeze it, do not throw the rinds away. Put them where you want to change the aromatic aroma where you're doing it, okay? It's important. And there's other essential applications for the lemon. And there's other things you can do it. Outer part of the fresh peel. So there's more, and I just recommend getting your own book to see the essential oil applications for corns or warts, digestion issues, joint pain, nosebleed, scars, fresh air, repel insects. All of those are available on the lemon. What are you doing this Christmas season for yourself? Have you thought how special you are and that you can take and learn from the plants that were in the Garden of Eden? Probably so many more we could know about but don't know about. But I will look at it this way. Let's take and get the benefits of what we do know and what is readily available for us to be able to have and to use. So, challenge you in that aspect. I'm going to divert a little bit, okay? I'm going to move over a little bit and share some other information with you. But I wanted to make sure that we have had the opportunity for the last 2 weeks to talk to you about aromatherapy, sensory. Sensory is also not only in the nose and throat and mouth, skin, where we sense and what can benefit us. You know, Remedy This Natural, 1140 Benvenue Road, is there for your benefit, to help you understand the quality and quantity of what you can do by just using some of God's therapy in the plants He made for us to be able to take a benefit. So I challenge you to do that. Give yourself the gift of finding out, what is it that I can do, what is it that I can take, what is it that may benefit me than just a plain long food. Here we go back again. Hippocrates. Let the food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food. That's what it's all about, okay? Now, the other thing is, and I think there's a few of these books still at Remedy This Naturally, called Bragg Toxless Diet, and what it can do, and how you can use apple cider vinegar. And I'd recommend making sure we do Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and learn about cleansing and detoxifying the body. There are 10 health commandments, or kind of like I would like to use here at the end of my show. The 10 health commandments. 1, thou shalt respect thy body as the highest manifestation of life. Please listen carefully. We are to respect our body as the highest manifestation of life. We are on the top of the food chain for what we need to do and make ourselves happy and healthy. Thou shalt abstain from all unnatural, devitalized food and stimulating beverages. Number 3, thou shalt nourish the body with only natural, unprocessed, live food. Thou shalt extend thy years in health for the loving and charitable service. Thou shalt regenerate thy body by the right balance of activity and rest. Thou shalt purify thy cells, tissues, and blood with pure, fresh air and sunshine. Thou shalt abstain from all food when out of sorts in mind and body. If you get out of sorts, just kind of let your body just deal with what's going on. Don't do food as a way to heal. Thou shalt keep thy thoughts, thy words, and emotions pure, calm, and uplifting. Thou shalt increase thy knowledge of nature's laws, abide therewith, and enjoy the fruit of thy labor. Thou shalt lift up thyself and thy brother man with thine own obedience to God's natural, pure laws of living. And I will close with this. Our sincere blessings to you, dear friends, to make your lives so worthwhile and fulfill by taking the teachings of the natural law and what was given to us in the Garden of Eden, that our Creator has laid down for us all to follow. Yes, He wants us all to follow the simple path of natural living, and this is what we teach and what we love to crusade for. Our prayers reach out to you for the best in health and happiness for you and your loved ones. This is the birthright He gives us all. But we must follow the laws He has laid down for us so we can reap this precious health physically, mentally, and spiritually. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. Thank you for being a part of Remedy This Naturally. Come see us for the holiday Christmas season and check out the cafe. Mail soon and mail often for the post office, and come in and check out all the items that are there for your benefit that take us back to the book of Genesis. God bless. Good health be yours. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. Merry Christmas.